parents lived here, they'll probably be in jail. You can get away with a lot of things if you want to. Everybody wants to be mad. If you both want to be sane, there's a lot more work for you to do. If your husband wakes up in the middle of the night and is very hungry,
you will eat sleep. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Obviously we have Brandy here again. Guys, at this point I don't think I should introduce her.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Let's just get right into it. Today's video is gonna be a let's chat type of video. We're just gonna be talking because I know you guys love to hear about marriage, and I know that you guys like to do amebo, so let's just
Uzoma is about to set me up because she didn't tell me what this video is about. She didn't tell me what I'm filming.
Even me too, I don't know.
Just say let's talk about marriage.
Yeah, let's just talk. I find that lots of people like have questions, like in particular to me, and they ask me all these relationship questions, and I'm just like, guys, I don't have the answers. So I said, let me ask married woman. Should we?
I don't have the answers, so everybody's just doing what works for them. I do not have the answers, but you know what? Let's get into it and see how far we can go.
How do you think your marriage has evolved? I know it's been all of like 6 months, but do you feel like there have been some habits that you've picked up that...
It's been 8 months, but okay.
Sorry, my bad. 8 months.
I'll let you when you continue, don't mind me.
Like, what I'm trying to ask is to do with the health of your relationships, because a lot of people will say, I want healthy relationships, but they don't know the burden that comes with it, because a lot of us have not seen it done before. Like, if we're being totally honest, like growing up in a society like Nigeria, like I don't know that I really learned that much about healthy relationships and marriages and stuff like that. So do you feel like you've learned anything or picked up anything?
I definitely feel like I've learned a lot, and I've also had to drop a lot of things as well. I think for me, growing up, I'm the only girl, first child. So growing up, I've always had to be in a place of authority, if that makes sense. Like I have 2 younger brothers, and you know, boys are like all over the place, very stubborn. So I feel like I've had to grow up a lot, like as a child. Like I was always staying at home with my brothers from like the age of 7 or even 6. I was always at home alone with my brothers, and I feel like
6?
Sis, sis, if my parents lived here, they'll probably be in jail, can't lie. But yeah, I had to stay at home with my brothers, and I feel like that kind of shaped my person, like me as a person, right? I remember, because my brother is currently around right now, and one day he was like, why do you always talk in a confrontational manner? I'm like, what do you mean I'm talking in a confrontational manner? And I kind of understood his point of view. Now he has the audacity to talk to me, but that's okay. I definitely understood his point of view, and I think that it's also conversations that I've had with Olumide in our relationship as well. Like just your tone and how you approach things. Like I feel like because I've never had to watch my tone, now getting married is like, who do you think you're talking to like this? Like sometimes it might not always be a problem, but when your cup is full, it is full. So I think that's number 1 for me, just watching the way that I speak, watching my tone. Even though I always say this is who I am, or this is the kind of person that I am, sometimes even when we're talking or having a conversation, when I get very passionate about something, I tend to raise my voice, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to shout about that thing. I just want to let you know that am I being heard? I want to talk loud, okay? And then it's like, why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? And that can just lead to a whole big mess. So watch your tone, watch the way that you communicate, because that's how you've been doing it all your life doesn't make it right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I like this. I think this is interesting because I would say I'm a bit the opposite. I don't really like shouting. I don't know if my mom will say it different, because my mom is
You know what? I don't think you like shouting, but you see, let me tell you something about me. If I say it loud, let me not say shout because I don't shout. If I say it loud, it's over. Like I don't know how to hold grudges.
Okay.
Once I express my feelings, it's done. But people like you that don't shout, your grudge, you keep it inside.
No, because this tone thing, right? I remember the first, like when Daniel and I first got together, this tone thing was
a conversation.
because he grew up in a household where like he had lots of siblings and like they are used to communicating while shouting, and just by virtue of being with lots of people, that makes sense, right? But then for me, I only had a brother and two parents, so I was just like, why are you shouting? Like, why is your tone like this? Can you just speak in a more gentle manner? And I found that like he made an effort with that, and that really changed things for me, because I was like, oh, okay, you actually care.
You listen.
And you listen, right? And it's just interesting how there are certain things that are more important for you than others, especially depending on how you grew up and stuff like that. I also feel like being in a healthy space is more work sometimes, because like you cannot just sweep things under the carpet.
No, it is very, very easy for your relationship to be unhealthy.
Yes.
It is very easy. You can get away with a lot of things if you want to. Everybody wants to be mad, but if you both want to be sane, there's a lot more work for you to do. Like this thing that I just spoke about, like I feel like for me to even talk about it now and recognize that it's an issue is because I've been trying to work on it, right? For me to get here, I know the amount of times that I'm not shouting. If you understand me, I'm done with this conversation. But like, being able to get to this point, like, I've definitely grown as a person, 100%.
And that's amazing.
So if you want to be in a healthy relationship, you have to put in the work. You can't just expect that everything will go well, because someone is going to be tired of your mess. Like, bro.
I was filming a like dilemmas video today, and I saw so many of the questions we're asking about, where do you find, like, not even just relationship, like marriage type relationship, but where do you find good friends? How do you have deep sisterhoods and friendships and all that type of stuff? And I was just like asking myself, really and truly, how do you actually find these people that will ride for you and stay in your life and be like, you know, those deep relationships and stuff like that? But I find that to get there, it takes work, and like healthy relationships are honestly sometimes it can be a burden, because and I'm not even saying this as if I hate it here, but it's just the reality of it. Like, for example, if I'm not praying for whatever reason, like I don't have the luxury of doing that anymore, because if Daniel doesn't check me, one of my friends is going to check me. They're going to check me and say, why is going on? Praying, and even if they don't come directly to me, there's something that they will say that will make me ask myself, why are you not praying? So as much as these things are beautiful, and as much as they are like, I don't know, like as much as they are something to aspire to and something to enjoy and to desire, I think that there has to be more emphasis on like the work that it takes to get there.
So much work. Even like what you were talking about building great friendships and like sisterhoods and bonds and stuff like that. Do you know the amount of sacrifice that it takes to get to that kind of place? Like, you have to, even when you don't feel like it, you have to call the person, you have to always be checking up. When you don't feel like talking, they're going to try to force you to talk. Like, just being able to be vulnerable with somebody alone, that is work. That is work. I know we desire like best friendships, we desire like, I want someone that will always be my corner, someone that will always be there for me. But do you want to put in the work that it takes to get to that place?
Yeah, because those things actually, they don't happen overnight.
They don't.
No, carry on.
They don't. I remember watching Tomika's video when she just had a baby in the States, and like her friend and I traveled all the way to the States to surprise her. Like, she paid her own way, paid her tickets, was taking care of the baby. She was in the States for a while, taking care of Tomika's baby with her, because Tomika was kind of alone at the time. And do you know the sacrifice that it takes? I will leave my job in Nigeria. I will travel all the way to the United States to help my friend and everything.
Especially when you know they are going to come back.
Exactly.
Come back to that same Nigeria.
Exactly. So, and she even like orchestrated it in a way that she booked their return tickets to be the same flight. Like, the level of
attention to
detail. Are we all, let's be honest, are you ready to put that kind of work into your platonic friendships? Some people do it for their romantic relationships,
but not their friends, which is a bit of an issue, right? Because like even like my last vlog, my best friend flew over from England to Canada, and then lots of people were commenting like, oh my god, you have such a good friend, da, da, da. You guys don't know what we have done to get there. Like, it's not something that appears overnight, and I think that this is something that needs to be more spoken about, because a lot of people just think that, oh, because I see this on Instagram, it just happened as quickly as I saw it.
It just doesn't.
It's not like that. And I think, actually, I don't feel like I really knew how to be a good friend until I got to university. Because, and this is the thing, like, if I knew better earlier, I would have done better, I feel. Because being a good friend means not doing what you feel like doing. It means doing what the other person requires of you.
That's so good.
And that's just in any relationship, right? So I just...
Even now, taking it back to, you know, where we started from, which is like your actual romantic relationship, what you just said applies 100%. A lot of times we want to do things in the way that we feel like it, but then is that what your partner needs from you at that moment? Is that the kind of care, the kind of attention, everything that your partner needs from you at the time? And someone like me, that like I'm very laid back. Like I really don't like doing a lot of stuff at the same time. But then when my husband requires it of me, I need to be able to sacrifice and say, okay, I'm gonna do this because I know even that you will do it for me as well. It's not easy. I don't want to be getting up from bed at 4 a.m. because you're thirsty. I don't really do that, but I'm just saying. Like, but then he does it for me. So
why did you put water there on the table? What do you mean?
Now I put water there. But imagine if I didn't have water there, or he didn't have water there, and he's like, "Babe, I'm really thirsty, but I'm also really tired. Can you help me get water from upstairs?" God. You should be able to make that sacrifice.
Come, many people are enjoying it.
Don't worry, that's why. You know what, you guys, in my video that we're filming, I'm going to be preparing Uzoma for marriage, and I'm going to be asking her, "Are you really ready for marriage?" Uzoma is not ready.
Because why should I be standing up at 4 a.m.? Excuse me, you did not know that you'll be thirsty.
No, but it's sacrifice.
God.
Imagine if it was your child.
Why is it when I'm sleeping? You did not know you'll be thirsty. I can't get over this. What do you mean?
That's even small. It's not water.
Okay, fine.
What if your husband wakes up in the middle of the night and he's very hungry?
You will sleep. You will eat sleep. You will eat sleep. Wait, I don't get though. Like, what do you mean? I don't get. So I should wake up from my sleep.
Those are my sacrifice. Okay, what if you woke up from your sleep? Wouldn't you want Daniel to help you get water?
I would just stand up and get the water myself.
What if you're very tired?
Then I'll go back to bed. Maybe I'm just too used to the sleep.
Okay.
I just can't.
Help me.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Maybe when I get there, I'll know.
Okay,
but for now,
that's fine,
I just can't imagine.
Don't stress yourself.
I don't know why that made me like really rattled. But anyway, moving on, thinking about my own life, some things that I have had to endure. Oh god, just even like having to cast my mind back. What am I saying, cast my mind, as if this is in the past? It is still here. I think mediocrity is something that I really had to drop, because even when I want to not do something well, I find that Daniel doesn't let me not do something well. For example, like if I'm trying to do something haphazardly, essentially he'll be like, "Why are you doing it like that? Why can't you do it better?"
Right.
And just having the humility to step down from my high horse and say, "Okay, maybe you're right." That takes a lot, and that has taken a lot. Just listening to somebody and actually being told that, "Guys, sit down," and actually accepting. So I think a lot of it is humility for me.
Yeah, humility. I think humility is a very big one as well, because another thing is being the first child as well.
Yeah.
I've always usually been right, okay? Like my opinion is final. So
sorry, oh god.
No.
Sorry.
No, Uzoma, you don't get like. My brothers were younger than me, so I was the most exposed, the smartest. What do you want to say that can overthrow what I'm saying?
Queen!
So, even like that, taking that into my marriage as well. The truth is, you're really not always right. And God now did it for me, that I now married a man that is also, he also wants to be right. So both of us, I'm the one that like, this man can come back 2 weeks from now and say, "Look at the evidence of that thing that I said that day. I told you, I'm right."
Yeah.
So, but you're not always right, and that's the truth. Just even that argumentative nature,
Exactly.
you don't always have to be.
Why okay, do you know, this is another thing I ask myself. Why do I always have to be right? Like, what is it in me? Is it the first daughter in me, or is it?
I feel like a lot of things, right? It goes back to even like our upbringing and you know.
Yeah, because you know how in I don't know if they did this in your school, Sha, but like if you were proven wrong, there is an embarrassment that comes with being proven wrong. You'll be like, hey, they told you, or something like that. And like, actually, it's not that deep.
It's actually not that deep.
You need to be wrong to learn.
Exactly.
So if you don't want to learn, that's when you.
If you're always right, people around you are lying to you.
Yeah, there's also that. They're lying to you. That's another thing. I'm trying to think of another thing that has really changed. But for you, it's been like over 5 years, 6 years.
So marriage is different from relationship. In relationship, we'll fight. We forget to fight. But in marriage, it's like, do you really want to be sleeping with a grudge? You want to get it over with. You want to sort it out.
What do you think about high and low maintenance? I saw a tweet the other day actually that said there's no such thing as high maintenance friendship. That y'all don't know how to be friends. And I was like, jeez.
No. I disagree. You know what? I understand the context of that tweet. That it's sometimes because we don't want to put in not me, them. They don't want to put in so much work into their friendships. That's why they say low maintenance friendships. But I think there's a point where a friendship can become tasking, and I think that's what people consider high maintenance friendships. Like I don't want to feel like I'm your parent because I'm your friend. I don't want to feel like the burden. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a high maintenance friend before and it wasn't easy. It was actually a very difficult period in my life because it's like, first of all, you want to please that person all the time. The person requires so much of you, like it gets choking. You cannot do anything by yourself. If you're not doing it together, you don't feel okay to do it. And I feel like it also comes from a place of like maybe esteem issues, or you need somebody to always parent you or something. I can't be that person for you. We're the same age. Do you want to kill me? Yeah. I feel like if you've not been in a friendship like that, you can never understand it. Like the person will be angry at you because you did not call them, you did not text. Like, what are you angry at me? Do you even know if I'm doing good myself? Do you even know if I'm feeling fine? Did you ask me? But every time it's always about them. But to be fair, those friends that are high maintenance, that need a lot of what's it called? They need a lot of support. They tend to be good friends. Like they can die for you. Yeah. But it's no, that's too much. You don't need to die for me. Jesus already paid the price. But one thing I know is that my friend, no, she loved me genuinely, and it's scary because this is almost more than friendship. It's love. It's love. And if you're not on the same level as them, they'll be angry. No. But what do you think?
Guy, this thing
it has both sides. It's a sensitive matter.
Sorry guys, if you hear that's my mom talking, she should be in the video but she'll say no. Anyway, this is
don't drag me. Let your fans come and say this your mom said. No.
I think that my understanding of friendships is just evolving. I think that it's important to have context for these things as well. So for example, if you've just had a child now, I'm not expecting you to be calling me every single minute of the day. Like there are just certain things I cannot expect of you anymore. Even just a transition like marriage, like there are already things that I cannot expect of you because you are in a different stage of life now. But now, where comes the line of you're a bad friend, or you just can't give this person what they need right now, or you just don't want to give it? So I think between high maintenance and low maintenance, there is a midpoint of
there is a perfect balance.
There's a perfect balance, and I also think there's a time to come to a decision of, can I do this, or do I want to? Do I not want to? Because if you decide that you don't want to be friends with somebody, if somebody is not adding value to your life in the way that you would need in that moment, it's very easy to see them as a high maintenance friend if they're asking of you certain things that you don't want to give to them in the first place. Let's not even talk about whether or not you are able to give that. So like there are many factors that come into play, and I just think that everybody needs to be understanding of everyone's context in life. But communication is also important. If you call somebody your friend, you owe them communication.
Communication is very important. But then, have you had a friend that you're even scared? You're even scared to tell them that. You're beginning to ask too much of me.
Yeah.
Because you know that it will break their hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll be sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like also because I'm a person that's not confrontational and I'm also very emotional and I care how my friends feel. Just saying that, me sometimes, even if I'm talking to my friends on the phone or something, I don't even want to say bye to them because I don't want them to feel like, oh, I'm not being there for them in that situation or at that time. I will stay on calls, even if I'm tired or whatever, just to make sure that you feel good and everything. I'm already somebody that is that considerate. I would already go that extra mile. So if someone like me is saying that another person stretches me, bro, I'm being stretched.
That's fair. I think everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, and I think that when it comes to certain things that you just don't have the capacity to do, it's obvious. Like for example, what you said, staying on the phone with somebody, you can do that. But when it comes to like actually picking up the phone to call every single time, it's not something that is in your nature. But then comes the balance of it's not in my nature, but I want to do it because it's something that you love. Because remember we spoke about this earlier that love is not doing what you want. Yeah, it's what they require of you.
Okay.
How do you then?
I was gonna say something just going off what you're saying, that knowing your friend, like it's a two-way street, right? Knowing your friend is basically what friendship is. It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all for everybody. Like me knowing what Uzoma likes and what Uzoma requires, that is me being a good friend to Uzoma. But likewise, Uzoma knowing what I can give to her and what I also require is Uzoma being a good friend to me. If I'm always giving to you and you'd never consider my own side, you're a very bad friend. Do you get? So I want it to be so. My friendships that have thrived, right? Honestly, you guys should not come for me, but I think I'm a low maintenance friend.
Yeah.
And likewise, I expect low maintenance friendships, but not that not in a way that I will now neglect my friends. Never.
Okay.
I want to make sure you're okay. Me, I'm okay with seeing you. Once you post on Instagram, once I will be like, oh my god, babe, you look good. Let's catch up. Once we talk, and whenever I talk to my friends, I stay on phone with them 3 hours, 4 hours. Once we have that stretch of 4 hours, that can last us for the next 2 months. But I'm not going to be the person doing 15-minute calls every day, even every day. I can't.
Every day? Why? Are you my man? Every
some
day
people,
for what?
Some people they speak every hour.
Nah,
no,
it's not
so
possible.
I prefer.
It's not even possible.
And also, I think another thing is I also prefer like visiting and like come over to my place, come and do sleepover, we chill. I like in-person friendships too, but most of my very close friends are not necessarily like in-person. So once we have our elongated conversations, call me when you need me. Oh Brandy, should I buy this dress? Oh Brandy, should I do this? Yes, buy it. We talk. Alright, talk to you later.
I feel that. Honestly, I feel that. I don't know, I'm still trying to decide what I don't like stress, man. I don't like stress.
Uzoma is a low maintenance friend. Don't mind her. Don't let her deceive you.
Why are you speaking for
Uzoma is a low
me?
maintenance.
Why are you trying to speak for me? I just don't like stress. I think that whenever, especially if like things are happening in my life that are not good or like they are stress inducing, I tend to close off from everybody and anything, and so that's something I'm actually working on, to communicate like when I am not in a good place mentally and when I need like space or when I just need to be by myself or I don't have the capacity to call, because I hate calls. First of all, I hate calling people, so let's start there. And a lot of my friends
I love calls. I don't do text, but I like calls. If you call me, we can talk, but I don't like text because I can't keep the motion. I want people to text me for a reason. Brandy, can you help me with this? Yes. Are we done? Yes. Bye. But hey, hi, what's up? I can't keep up.
So how did you keep up when we were doing when we had BlackBerry and all those things? And people were going back and forth. Hey, how are you?
I never did all that stuff.
Wow.
I never did all that stuff.
Okay. That's very, very different because
I mean, maybe I did actually a little, but like
you were younger.
See, I was younger. I had the time.
Yeah.
Right now, my phone, I make sure it's always far from me. The only time I hear it is when it's ringing. I don't want it close. It's just too much responsibility.
I wouldn't say the same.
Anyway. But overall, whether high or low maintenance, be a good friend to your friends. Like, know what they expect from you. And you guys should communicate, find a balance. What works for you, what works for me. That's always the best way, because you never know. Maybe your friends are suffering in silence.
Yeah, there's also that.
you can't keep up with all your friends every single day, and I think that's another thing for me, because I have quite a number of friends, right? If everybody's there, I would just die. If all my friends are expecting like high maintenance from me, when I share myself, I can't share myself. But I feel like if you have one or two, and people that have high maintenance friends, it's usually one or two.
True.
It's one or two because you can survive.
Honestly, it's true.
So Esther, Uzoma, Roslyn, everybody will now expect just strangle me. Just strangle me. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments, like about everything that we've said or anything that we've said. What are some things, if you guys are in healthy relationships, or if you feel like you want to be, what are some things you feel like will be hard for you to drop, or what are some toxic traits that you've noticed in yourself? And also, are you a high or low maintenance friend? And do you like high or low maintenance friendships? And tell us your reasons why.
Yeah.
The chat. But
let us know. We want to know.
Anyway.
And don't come for us. It's just our opinion.
Oh, if you come for me,
don't come for us. Tell us the truth.
Yeah, tell us the truth. Yeah. You know what? I actually take drags when it's like valid. So
right.
I take criticism well, but just don't drag us for no reason.
Don't drag us.
Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, Brandy, for coming and gracing us with your presence all the time. You guys. Bye.